Yo,
What's
welcome
good,
everybody.
everybody?
Welcome everybody to Powerful Impact. It's me, SP, and Miss Tiptoe,
What's good,
Pastor
everybody?
Maria.
We're going to have a discussion tonight. We were going to do an album review of Bahamadia, but we decided to put it off so we can kind of discuss the whole everything that's going on with the Tyga, American Cholo, Tariq Nasheed, No Jumper, all of that, and just kind of have an open discussion about it.
Yeah, I've been irritated all day, so my mind wasn't in a place where I could actually um, do an album
Album,
review and
me too.
give it justice because
Yeah,
Bahamadia deserves, she deserves our attention.
she does. I tried to take more note. Like I was like, I gotta take notes.
Yeah, I
I
took a
know this
lot of notes.
album, but I was like, I gotta do her justice, and I couldn't even concentrate on the notes.
Exactly.
Hey,
I've
what's
been
good,
irritated
Christy,
all day.
Jonathan? Yeah, I was like, I can't even concentrate. I've been so upset all day. Watson, I apologize. You had to endure me crying and going off because it just really affected me on how fast everybody turned on us, my race. I was just like, wow.
Yeah,
And
and
go ahead.
it affects me. It affected me because I grew up. I'm in Texas. You
I
know what
know.
I mean? And I grew up in San Antonio, and my friend Maricela called, and she was all upset. And I didn't know what she was upset about. And then she kind of told me what was going on with in the neighborhood she lived in, and it was so frustrating to me. It gets so frustrating
Yeah.
because it seems like every time we take a few steps forward, then we get kicked right back again, and it's
Exactly.
ridiculous.
It is. And it just, um, it's like people are like, well, he's American Cholo's not even Mexican. He's Honduran. Well, he was raised in America in South California in a Chicano neighborhood and was raised Chicano. So he don't even know what his like his home, like his family's based from Honduras. They moved here. He was born and raised, whatever. He don't know that part. He only knows the Chicano part. And at least he's trying to stand up for us. He made a lot of mistakes though. I don't
Yeah,
agree with a lot of shit he said, but I understand this is the contradicting part. What bothered me is that they took everything out of context and just made him look like a severe racist. He has his daughter's married to a black dude. His grandkids are half black. He has like I'm like he's not a racist. And instead of our people standing together and being like, yo, this is important, we need to fight for our rights, let's stand together, let's let people know this is not okay, we go at each other's throats. How are we supposed to get anywhere? And
and
then
it
I'm sorry, we got Tariq Nasheed on the other side creating a race war between black and brown, and took us 50 years to fight that prison mentality to get to where we're at now, and he's trying to push us back, saying,
exactly.
yeah, he says we don't like black people, and that's some bullshit. I grew up with nothing but black and Mexicans. Like we're our Arizona, especially in Tucson, we are together. Like I don't understand it. Like why is he so against Latinos, Afro Latinos, Mexican? Like I don't understand it.
So I would be the first person to say I don't get that shit either. I have been listening to these people, and all the everything that I see is isolate. Just it seems to me like this group is like a abusive spouse,
Yeah,
where they just want to get all the black people in the corner so they can do what the fuck they want to do to you. You
yeah,
know what I mean? It just seems really weird to me that you would want to separate everybody from everything, and yet still want to have this mentality that we made America, and this is our country. So in one way you want to isolate, and one way you want to assimilate. It makes no fucking sense to me.
yeah. And then I often go back to, yeah, I agree. You guys did a lot of building. So were natives doing shit. Irish were doing shit because all of them were slaves too. Irish
Well,
were not
they
treated,
weren't
are not slaves.
necessarily
I'm not
in
saying
America. They weren't. Irish people were not
not
slaves.
slaves,
They
but they
were.
were treated like shit too.
They
I
were treated like shit, but they were treated like shit because most of the people who moved there from England treated them like shit
yeah, there
because of
you
a
go.
war.
So what I
That's
mean is,
a totally different thing than slavery.
right, right, very much so. I agree. See, I
And
strongly
when
agree
and
with
when
that.
they
But
and when they realized they could lean into whiteness and shit on black people, that's
they,
exactly what they did.
yeah. So my thing is this: uh, Mexicans were also targeted back then too. We weren't allowed. And my thing is this: yes, you guys did build the country, but my ancestors were here before any of that, and we don't give like I'm like, for me it doesn't matter. I'm worried about my cousins having to go through a race war because they're black, and I got my cousin Christina has black kids. And I'm thinking this shit's gonna pop some shit off in the streets to where brown and black are gonna go against each other. And we fought too long and hard to get that mentality away from us to be united. The prison riots back at 50 years ago created a big strife between black and brown. And it
Exactly.
took all this time to get here. And now it's starting up again. And we can't have that. We can't have that. I think it's important we all stand united and say we just want to be cool with each other. We love each other. Like, what's wrong with us getting along with each other and kicking it and being cool with each other? Like, why can't I have a carne asada and invite all my homies from the neighborhood or others that are black and just kick it? Because I've always done that, and they've always come and they've always kicked it, and my mom and them all, like, they call my mom and all that. Like, what's wrong with that? Why is that so far-fetched for Tariq to understand that? No, we don't hate black people. Like, I
And every
understand
Mexican person is every
different.
Mexican people are not a monolith.
Yeah,
There are, of course, there are people who are Hispanic who have or who are Mexican who have racist tendencies. Of course,
there's
there is,
Mexicans
but
even hate
there are also
us.
there are also black people who are extremely biased towards
Yeah,
other races.
I think
But
it's in
that
every race.
but that doesn't mean that that is the majority of people or that is the majority of the culture.
What bothered me is Tariq has a video, and he has this Dominican dude, and this Dominican guy is talking about he don't consider himself black, and he's talking shit and all that, but then he labels him Mexican when the guy clearly, he even says he's Dominican, but then he turns the convo to Mexicans, and I'm like, he's not even Mexican, he's Dominican. Like, there's Latinos, but there's different Latinos. Just like there's Haitians, there's Jamaicans, there's Dominican, Puerto Rican, Cubano, Mexican, Honduran, Brazilian, like different nationalities.
And
And
you
one person,
also
like,
you I think and part of the problem is people don't look at the history.
Yeah,
And so there is a big history and a big reason that a lot of this stuff exists. And a
yeah,
lot of this stuff exists specifically through the lens of white supremacy. And
yeah.
if you don't take the
They
time to
they want us to hate each other even more than Tariq wants us to hate each other. Like, there's
exactly,
a big agenda. It's why this shit popped off with Adam 22 in his podcast. He's got over 4 million subs and millions of followers. There's corporate involved in that. But they could say wetback street boys, they could say guess the dildos and joke and laugh. And I'm like, I don't think that's cool.
it's not cool. It's not cool. You know,
And then you're gonna come at American Cholo because he said some shit, and I get it. What he said was wrong. Even if he is repeating a story, and then he lost his cool with Tariq because Tariq had been calling him Mexi COON, all these terms. So he lost his cool. I don't agree with what he said. I don't agree with him repeating the story and using the exact words of what that dude said. But you took it out of context and just put it together in an edited video and are on him for saying these things, but yet you could sit there on your platform and make jokes about us.
exactly.
That's a contradiction, in my opinion, and very hypocritical. And fuck you, Adam.
Okay, hold on real quick.
Yeah, by Nazis they were. Ironically, Jews have taken up over a lot of America too, though. They are some of the wealthiest people. But they went through a lot too. Gracie, I want to know what your thoughts are. I think we need to be more united as a people. Like when shit happens to one of us, we need to be united. And I think we need to be united rather than saying, that's fucking Sureño. That's Norteño. That's an actual Mexican. That's Honduran. That's the. We, as a Latino community in America, we need to be united and stand united. We were united with when George Floyd and all these deaths happened. Why are we being separated now?
We were well
All right.
here. We were united during the civil rights movement.
Yes. Yes.
We were
Even
we were
even
united during the with Cesar Chavez. It was just as many civil rights
even
people marching.
Farrakhan. Even Farrakhan did a video about Mexico and how it was America and how now they don't want us in this country when it was our country. And he was like, how sad is that? Even Farrakhan said that. And I'm like, that is unity. That's where we need to be. We need to speak up for each other.
And yes, I have the same frustration as every other black person in the world. You know, and especially in America.
Yes.
This country was built on our
On the
back.
backs. Yes.
And
And
yet
I'm even pissed about it.
everybody
I'm like what the
everybody
fuck?
has gotten some form of reparations except black people.
That's right,
You,
Gracie. We
you
do.
have you have an incredibly hard time passing
Yeah.
um, any legislation against white supremacy or racism.
They're
However, you
enormous.
don't have any problem passing anti-Asian hate crime
Exactly.
bills.
And I
You
don't have
have
nothing against
any
Asians.
problem passing anything that doesn't have the word black
Black.
or me or black men in
Yeah.
in in the name of the bill. It's
I,
frustrating.
I mean, even when they did the civil rights bill, they did it to set black people up. You couldn't loiter and do all of this after you were freed, but you had to get a job. Then
And
they built a prison
that was
system
those
so
Jim
they could
Crow
arrest
laws.
you. And then they took you back. They could sell you back to the fucking plantation. This shit, this country was founded on fucking hate, and we gotta stop. When are we gonna stop? Like, man, when all this shit went down with the police and the black community, I was upset about it. Like, we stood up too. Um, I don't know if everyone did. I know a lot of us did here. We went to the protest and we was fighting and we was on Twitter, remember, going at people who were racist, just going off. Um, it's
It's the
got to
same
stop
here.
at
As
some
as
point.
many as many people show up for Mexican causes as we do for black causes. It's like
Yes, we do. And here's the thing. You know how many black men or brown men have been released over a weed charge now that it's legal, and how many white people have been released for that?
well, not many black people.
Exactly. It's all mostly been white people that have been set free from their weed charge because it's legal now. What the fuck? What about the black and brown communities? Why aren't you releasing them over this?
And
Do you know how many people have
again,
done?
yes, again, yes, our communities have issues, but most
Yeah,
of the issues are easily corrected if you
corrected.
get rid of the bigger issue of white supremacy, because
Yeah,
you set up these areas to fail.
yeah.
There
I
is
mean,
there
it
is an entire reason that ghettos were built.
yeah. I mean, the redlining of the districts was for that purpose. That's what made it so hard for us and people to buy houses in certain areas. We weren't allowed because it was red lines. The ghettos were put for a reason. You know, I just think
And the reason is to lower the quality of living,
life and
to
pin us
make
against each
sure
other.
there is no economic prosperity.
Yeah,
And within that bubble, the people that are in those communities tend to turn on themselves.
yeah, yeah. I mean, shit. Mexicans are up against each other. There are some blacks that are up against each other. It's. I mean, we gotta be. We gotta be smarter. We gotta think. Why do they want us against each other? Because if we join forces, do you know how strong we would be as a unit together? Do you know how strong our voices would be against them? They don't want that. They don't want that.
Which is why they keep up these battles and these fights.
That's right,
We are on
Gracie.
StreamYard, and I don't want to have this conversation be closed. Maria, would it be okay if I opened up the
Yes,
room for
yes, yeah.
people?
Anyone who wants to join, come on and say. You don't have to be on camera. You could just have your voice
You
and
don't
just
have to
don't.
show your face. You can just be on camera. I am going to put
I mean,
the
on voice,
StreamYard.
not on camera. Yeah,
I'm going to put the StreamYard link in the live, and feel free to join and give us your perspective, because
yeah.
I
Please.
think quite often the reason so much anger is built is because nobody feels heard. Nobody feels like they're being, most people in the world just want to be heard.
Yeah.
And so, if we can find a way just to open up a conversation and have a dialogue, keeping it respectful, no racial slurs, not
Exactly.
not
You won't
having it,
get kicked out.
just have a conversation. Tell us your perspective. You
You
know,
know, when you come on, when you click on the link, we have to invite you in, and you could keep where you'll see where it says mute settings, start, stop, or start cam. You don't have to start the cam; it'll just be your voice. It'll be like when Neville is on and he's got the blue screen.
so I pinned the message in the live stream. If you want to, if you're on Twitter and you want to join the conversation, just shoot over to YouTube and hit the StreamYard link, and you can come up. You don't have to show your face. You just have to have a civilized conversation, because until we start having these conversations, we're going to constantly be in this whirlwind of sameness. And to be completely honest, I was so frustrated today. I was frustrated
Me too.
looking at black people attack Beyonce because she took the word spaz out of her song.
Yes, I saw
Evidently,
that.
none of these people have had any kid with any disability or known anybody with these kind of disabilities.
It's
And
it, it's getting too crazy out here, don't you think? Where everyone's getting upset over every little thing.
well, I think spaz is something that people really take for granted, because
Right. But I
I've
don't think he
seen
meant
I've
it in
seen
that
I've
term.
taken care of people with mental illness for a long time, especially with developmental disabilities, and spasms hurt. They hurt a
Right.
lot. And also to that is words that they use to tease and hurt individuals.
See, and I never knew that because I would say shit like, "Oh man, Crooks passed on that beat," and
Yeah,
I don't mean it in that term. I mean it like, "Damn, he fucked that beat up.
but
He went off."
any terms that was made in the 50s, you can guarantee there was some kind of hurtful
Senior,
hurtful jargon. That is Gracie.
Gracie.
That was behind it. So yes, people are trying to take their power back.
Yeah,
Just
I
like
get it.
we took the N word back and won't allow
Yeah,
anybody else to say it. Other people are feeling the same way about words that have been
like
um,
wetback,
extremely hurtful for
cleaner,
them over the years. And you can't be mad
burrito.
at that. And
Yeah,
sometimes change is good. Even
yeah,
if it's change, even if we don't mean it that way.
yeah. I
It's a
agree.
lot of times, one of my Mexican friends will say the N word. I was like, no, you can't say that.
Exactly. I do the same thing. Like my
So
sons and all
I
of us
can't.
have been telling others like you can't say that.
So I can't get mad if somebody with a disability is telling me this word hurts me.
You're right. You're right. It's just like the F word with the gay community. We
Yeah,
stopped saying
if
that.
someone is telling you it's hurting them, then you
That's
can't get
not
in your feelings, because that is also leaning towards white supremacy.
exactly.
You don't
I
have the right to hurt other people.
We don't, and I agree with that. I want to hear what Gracie has to say. I'm gonna turn off my cam real quick because I gotta move my dog, and I'm gonna be bent over, and I don't want to have my ass on camera. Go ahead, Gracie. How you doing, girl?
You can have your
Hey Maria, hey
nice
SP.
ass.
Let
Hey,
me.
Gracie.
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yes, we can hear
perfect.
you. Go for it.
Tell
Okay,
me.
like yeah, like was saying, I was saying in the text, it's like we fight with each other more. Like Hispanics, we fight with each other more than back each other up. Especially with the Black and Hispanic community, if we put ourselves together, we could do so much more. Like so much
Exactly.
more, and to take over what's like really happening. And that's why
Exactly.
everybody wants to separate it because they know the power we can bring. And I think it's more pride than like, well, this and this happened like that. What gets us not to be united?
You know what sucks
Exactly.
is when
Because we
some.
went through that same hurt, like not everything in details, but we all went through that hurt. We all get disrespected in some form of way.
Right.
But if we unite, you'll see so much of a difference, and our pride gets in the way so much. That's like one biggest flaw that we have is our pride.
Pride and ego. Ego
Hmm.
is a big thing. I think, you know what I think is, I was going to say, if we were united, they would not be able to control us.
Nope.
And that's the issue. They don't want us united. They want us killing each other. It's been that way since the 60s, 50s, 70s. It's why they created prisons the way they are, segregated. They don't
Mm-hmm.
want us in prison with other, like they want us with our own kind. It creates tension. You got Sutrese, you got the blacks there, you got the Aryans, and it creates tension. And then 50 years ago, that tension from prison fled onto the streets of Cali. And it
And
took us
Texas.
all this time, and Texas and Arizona, all of us were fighting this prison mentality and of race. And it took 50 years just to get to where we're at now. We're like this pushing it back. It seems like every time someone goes to try to speak up, someone is always looking for a way to discredit that person. Why is that? Why can't you say, you know what, it's okay if you're Honduran, you grew up Mexican, you know what, thanks for trying. You fucked up by saying those words, but at least thanks for trying to explain to Tyga. And why are people upset that Tyga took the video down? He did that of his own free will. He has Mexican friends, a lot of them. He decided, you know what, I'm going to take it down. Why are people upset at that? It's his video. If
Well,
he wants to take it down,
it's the
it's
same
the
reason
same thing
they're
with
upset.
Beyonce.
It's the same reason they're upset at Beyonce. You can't get
It's
mad
like,
at this
right,
woman.
it's their shit. They want to take it down. Oh, fucking wow. What are you going to do?
This is and what really pissed me off, and the reason I couldn't even think about doing the album review, and because it frustrated me
It's
so.
frustrating.
I
I
read
know
a
Grace.
comment that said black women are quick to talk shit to black men, but won't stand up for themselves against anybody else,
You know
which
what? I've
in,
seen,
which infuriated me.
yeah. And you know what? I've seen a lot of videos of black women saying they, how they treat their men, and I don't see them treating them wrong. Like they talk about having a right type of relationship. So where are people getting this info?
Well, I
It's
don't even
coming
know where they're
down
getting
from a
this
source.
info that black women don't stand up to other people
Oh,
when
here's,
that is all.
oh, you do. Us Mexican women too. That's all we do. We stand up. I mean, I got into it with an old bitch at the store. Excuse my term.
But
Telling
when we do stand up, they call us angry. They call us
me you're
aggressive. They don't see us sticking up for ourselves. They call
right.
us everything but sticking up.
Exactly.
Or
You
when
know
we
what?
stick up
What?
for them,
Hey,
you're embarrassing me.
in
You're
they
too
come.
Right.
loud. You're too this. You're too that.
Oh, I've
Um,
been called loud many times. I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna speak what I need to speak on, and
your
that's that.
hair is the problem, and this is the problem.
Oh,
That
I
is the
went through,
problem.
girl. I went through shit with my own people because I'm light skinned.
Yeah. I,
You're
I
not brown enough. Like
yeah.
what? I'm Mexican. Like
exactly.
so. Like, are you crazy?
I
You
go
know
through
what
the same
I saw?
thing with my
You,
Spanish because I don't speak good Spanish. They talk
yeah,
so much shit to me.
that's
They're like,
fucking
"Oh, I thought you were Mexican." I go, "I am." They're like, "No, you're not. If you don't speak Spanish, you're not."
and here's the thing
And
they
it's my
don't
people.
understand. This is what they don't understand is when 4 generations ago, when they were here, they came to America, started having their kids and raising like people that came back from Mexico to here. They didn't want their kids speaking Spanish. The schools didn't want kids speaking Spanish. They were treated like shit and made to speak English. Families wanted their kids to speak English to have a better life. But us Mexicans get upset, a lot of them do, when my daughter don't speak Spanish. So what? I hope somebody has a problem with that that's Mexican. Because, hey, you know what? She's going to be able to do her or do her. She don't want to, that's on her. She considers herself, so now she speaks it, but she don't speak it. That's, you know what I mean? She could,
Mhm.
but she don't. Um, the thing I saw on Adam 21 today, Adam 22, I saw a video of him talking about black women and their vaginas and saying they smell different than white. Like, what the fuck are you talking about, dude? Are you what?
But to him, they'll give a
That is
pass.
a race. To me, that's a racist. That's racial. Like, why are you even saying that? He's like, I bet my dick smells different than yours. To the dude that was on there with him. I'm like,
But him, they'll give a pass. They'll tune into his show every single day.
yes,
They're
exactly.
going to drop comments. They're going to show up for him.
They
But
already are. They're like Adam. They're supporting him with this whole
exactly,
shit. He was
exactly,
saying COON like nothing. Well, you said, and he says it. You and blah 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 kept saying that word, and I'm like, dude, are you taking advantage of the fact and keep saying this word just to make your point? Like, how was it
exactly.
okay for even you to say you're fucking white? And I
And then what killed me is he's the guy who's telling the guy telling the joke and using the slur, and he was like, "Oh well, you can say that because you're Mexican," and he was like, "I'm white,"
no.
and nobody said, "Well, you can't say that shit. Shut the fuck up."
Exactly. Even the Chicano next to him, he's all cracking up. Like, dude,
Yeah, they're all laughing.
are you crazy? That's why people were pissed at him because they're saying you let them say shit like wetback and all of that. But then here's the other part. AB, the black dude on there, lets him, the Mexican dude, say the N word with the A at the end. No, dude, you can't say that. I don't care if you got one black person that says you can. There's a whole group of them out here that say you can't. Don't do that.
And that is a sticking point for me. It has never been a question in my head. If you say it and I'm in the vicinity, I'm gonna check you.
Yeah, me
You
too.
know, don't say that shit.
And
And
this
I
is
don't
why,
care if black people say it to each other. I don't care how many songs it's in. I don't care about any of that. You can't say it. You can't even sing it. You can't rap it. You can't hum it. You can't even
exactly
hum sounding like you saying that word.
like you're saying it. I agree. I agree. Here's my stand though. So far, SP and Watson are the only two African Americans that have said you're making valid points. I posted posts on Twitter and on IG. I got two comments on IG, SP and Christy. Nobody touched my post on Twitter. And I thought to myself, if I was making a point about black African Americans, if I was making a point about white Americans, people would be all over that commenting. But I'm talking about Mexicans. And nobody has mentioned or said shit. Nobody has liked it or even touched it. And Watson was like, nobody, people are scared to come to that post to say shit. Why?
Because
Why?
they
Because
don't understand it.
I
And
would be one of
see,
the first to
I
speak
am
up
in a
against black
specific
people that are being treated wrong. I would be up there and saying, yo, you can't be doing that to black people. Like, what the fuck's wrong with you? I, I, I was just like, it was an experiment. I'm not gonna lie. I posted Watson told me to post it on Twitter. I posted it just to see who would say something or even communicate to have a dialogue.
You know
But
what? In
and I think
certain
I'm in a
words,
specific minority because I grew up in
I know
Texas.
you did.
So,
I know. And your friend is Mexican. You grew up with her
you
family.
know,
Just like me with the Jacksons. I grew up with their family. They were at my house. I was at their house.
but even though I grew up with them, there is no way on earth, there is nothing even in my being that wants me to call them
Went
any
back.
kind of racial slur, even
Yeah.
joking or as much as as much as she came to my house to translate telenovelas for me, I've never even said stuff jokingly to her.
Cororina. I used to like that one novela. I agree. It's the same with me. I grew up playing spades, dominoes. I would be at their house all the time. I used to call Irma's mom Mama Terry. They're her grandma, mom, big mama. I used to call her aunt, like Auntie Doris. They were my family. I would never, ever say anything that offended them. I would fight for them, and I have. Like they have
You
fought
know.
for me too. Like it's why is there so
So I
why
grew up
I'm
in this.
curious to know why Tariq hates us so much. Hates us Latinos and us Mexicans. Why
I
does
don't
he
think
hate us
Tariq.
so much?
I don't think Tariq hates white people or Mexicans. I don't even think he's particularly pro-black. I think he is pro-money,
That's a good point right there, SP. I
and
didn't
it
even think
and
about that. Because he
and it
lives in a
pays.
very, very well to do white community. And
Racism pays well.
he's against the Democrats and all for Republicans. Not that that means anything. I got Mexicans that are Republicans, friends. I got blacks that are Republicans, and they don't say stupid shit or start stupid shit. Um,
But if you isolate a group and you make them feel like that the points you're making has value, most older people in this country has never voted for a political party because they believed that that party was going to do something for us.
right. And Tariq
We've
has a
we've
big
always
following.
we've always voted for a political party because we figure we understand that this party at this time does less damage. Because for a long time most black people were Republicans. We just weren't. And when they started this the
Quick, I'm sorry to interrupt. Are we on Twitter too, live?
we're on Twitter, but they need if they want to join the stream, they have to come to YouTube.
Okay, on Twitter. Okay, go ahead, SB. I apologize. Go ahead, continue. My bad. I'm trying to answer someone. I'm listening and I'm trying to answer someone on Twitter because they said, damn, I was excited. I thought this was Clubhouse. No, we're not doing it on Clubhouse. Apologies. We get more people to hear us from YouTube, Twitter, and all of that. Gets bigger dialogue, more communication. Okay. On YouTube, right? YouTube Live? YouTube?
Yeah, and actually I'm going to put the link on Twitter too.
Okay. Hey, Christy, you don't want to join us in this convo with Gracie and us? Gracie, why do you like? Okay, remember we talked about Snow the product and her thing with American Cholo,
Yeah.
and I all I could see was division, and I thought it's sad. They're both powerful people. Wouldn't it be cool if they came to an understanding and decided to work together?
And then this is another subject because she is a woman, besides being Latina, it's like that, they attack her more.
Yeah, and
She
I
gets by that she says it in all her songs. Like
yeah,
her own people are the ones that put it down and attack her more. Where she says it so many times how proud she is, and like she speaks up. If you listen to lyrics, she speaks up about it more than these guys.
yeah, I agree. Hypnotic
And they
speaks
just
a lot about it too, but
in
I
the
know
background they attack her a lot.
yeah, I know
But
Snow has spoke
I
up for
think
us.
I think part of the problem is nobody actually watched the whole thing for context. They seen the clip and they reacted.
On Snow and American Cholo, I watched it on YouTube.
I
Yeah, but
was at work, but I asked somebody who was there, and they were telling me,
did she
Um,
watch the entire thing,
yeah,
I don't.
or did
I,
she react to the clip?
no, she watched the whole thing. She actually
she
got some
watched,
clips.
but she was more focused on calling him, telling him he was like one of the old drunk deals that comes off across this certain way, and he kept saying, "Look, I don't want to fight. You keep wanting to bring
But
this up."
before this, they had like a little thing going on before
I
that.
I got it. But when he
Yeah.
says, "Look, I don't want to fight," I think it's important for us to talk about the actual issue and the community. I felt like that was an opportunity to say, you know what, you're right. Let's get through this. You and I should work our shit out in the background, but let's stand united for our people to let them see we can.
Back
But
again, pride.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Ego and pride, her and his, both.
Uh
Both
huh.
of them are like trying to fight for their like I'm the one, and that's what hurts our people. I think that's what hurts a lot of the black community too, because there are a lot of black like the pride and this and that. Like Tariq, he has this pride thing going on where he's spreading. I mean, he may not feel it, but he's spreading it to his followers that even Afro Latinos are bad.
Exactly.
And
And
they're
I always have a
viewed
problem
as
with
black people too, though. When white people see them, they don't say that's an Afro Latino. They say that's a black person. And
exactly.
this is so fucked up.
I always have a problem with anybody who tries to divide the black community. I know we have issues. I know there are people in any black majority country that probably has a problem with black Americans. I know there's probably black Americans who have a problem with everybody in every other country. However,
Yeah.
normally we ignore that ignorant shit.
Yes, we
But
do.
now, for some
It's
reason, the ignorant shit is starting to take hold.
you
You know
know
what I
what?
think the problem
It's
is?
all over YouTube though. Every time I go on YouTube, all I see is American Cholo, Tariq Nasheed, no jumper, blah blah blah. And I'm like, damn,
Do,
this
do you
really
know? Do you know why the ignorance is so prevalent? Because you remember in the 80s
what about
when
it?
um when they enacted the law that you couldn't ride in the back of the
Back
truck,
of the truck, yeah.
and
We were still doing it though. I'm
that you
not gonna
couldn't
lie.
and that you couldn't they start putting warning labels on shit.
Yeah,
That's how we used
parental
to.
advisory bullshit. All of that came out
Yeah,
in the 80s.
but that's how we used to weed out stupid people.
Yeah.
You know, somebody would drink bleach and die, and then we didn't have to worry about them
Oh
procreating.
yeah. Remember with the COVID and Trump was like,
So now,
people were literally drinking bleach. Like, are you dumb?
so now they go. We made the world too safe, and the stupid people are starting to take over, and it's just it's
It's
starting to
fucking
be
it
too.
up,
It's starting
girl.
to be too much.
I gotta tell you this. I saw a video of this. It's no offense to white people, because there are I fuck with you guys. There, I just don't fuck with racist people. But there was this video of this white dude literally praying to Donald Trump on IG Live. He was praying, "Oh God, oh Donald, hear my prayer. Oh Mr. Trump, hear my." I was like, damn, people really fell for his bullshit.
Well, it's just like the black YouTubers that runs these videos. What has Donald Trump ever done to us?
But yet they'll play a
Really?
fucking
Are
wait,
you
and then
really asking that question?
they'll praise Tom McDonald in the same breath.
Exactly.
Ah, that shit fucks me up. I'm like, dude, why
It's
are you
so
standing to Tom
frustrating.
McDonald?
It's
Yeah,
so frustrating. You'll shit on the Talib Kweli, but you will
but
praise
praise Tom
Tom
McDonald.
McDonald. Get the fuck
What
out
do
of
you?
here.
I'm curious, Gracie. What do you think of Tom McDonald? Do you like him?
No, I
God,
don't like him. I think he's a fucking idiot.
okay, okay, thank you.
I
I will never say nothing bad about Eminem again, because I know Gracie didn't talk to me for a whole fucking week one time. She was mad at me. And now I'm like, never again.
Well,
Never again. Tom
Eminem,
McDonald is not
Eminem
off
is not
limits,
a,
though.
Eminem is not the issue. The only issue
No,
I
he's
have
not.
with
He's
only
not.
issue I have with Eminem is the goddamn Christmas boys in
This is
July.
the reason I posted this thing on Twitter about us being upset about the D12 video, my band, when he was with the mariachi and doing all that stupid accent. Because back then we were upset about it, but nobody heard us. And
I
that
didn't see
video,
nowhere on my side though.
but no, but that video came out so long ago that when this
I was
shit
in
happened,
junior high.
when did this, people are like, "Why are you upset with Tyga and not Eminem?" Do you understand how long ago my band came out? years ago. We're supposed to bring that shit back up. It's in
And
the
not only that, they were upset with him about that. It's just that
yes,
we didn't have social media to be like,
exactly.
say that ain't cool.
I
That's
told
true.
my kids, don't listen to that shit. Don't watch that shit. That white boy don't know what the fuck he's doing. Look at him over there acting stupid with the mariachis. And my kids are like, but it's Eminem. Like, I don't care. But it took me a long time to actually be like, you know what? I do like Eminem. I like his music. But that, yeah, I'm
But you
older.
want to? Can I give you a point?
Yeah, yeah.
Why a lot of people over here where I'm at didn't care because he's always been that silly white boy that did dumb shit.
Right, right. And I
Tiger
get
is not that silly guy that always does dumb shit. He had
well,
his lane.
he did that girl.
Eminem had that lane with the Slim Shady, the crazy white boy. That was him. So they knew that he was gonna be doing crazy shit. That's
But let
why
me
I
wait,
feel that nobody really took him that
let
like
me
that personally.
wait. I'm a lot older than you, Gracie.
Mhm.
Back then you were in junior high.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
you probably weren't around with the adults when they were talking about it. This is probably
Yeah.
amongst your friends. Or
North
maybe
Los Angeles. They're laughing and they enjoyed it
yeah,
and stuff
but
like
what
that.
I'm saying is a lot of us older
Mhm.
generation and the people older than me at the time,
Uh
the
huh.
older generation, they were upset. We
Mhm.
were upset
Mhm.
about it. But it just didn't make airway because back then we didn't have social media.
Yeah.
What do we do from Arizona? He's in Detroit. You know what I mean? Like nothing we say here is gonna get sent there. The
Yeah.
news ain't picking it up. We don't have a way to communicate it.
No, I believe that.
But my
I'm
point
saying
was this is why are they bringing up M now when that should happen years ago? We're not
they bring
talking
him up for
about M.
anything.
Well, the reason they bring up irrelevant stuff is to change the conversation.
Exactly. To put it
They
towards
bring up
M.
irrelevant stuff to change the conversation.
Yeah.
They bring up stuff like they bring up they talk about when they don't understand how business works, then all of a sudden Beyonce is a part of the Illuminati instead of a
Or M is and
stellar
produces videos.
businesswoman who knows if I take that word out, my sales are going to
Go
rise.
up.
And
Yeah.
why is that a problem with her doing that in the black community? But any other white person on earth can do that, and you won't say shit. You'll just be like, okay.
That's my point. The whole point about a white person saying this white dude was like wetback street boys, case of dildos, and nobody Adam saying the C word, COON, constantly in this fucking video. And
Exactly.
I'm like, nobody's saying shit. It's okay for them.
Yeah,
And I have to
I don't
think
get it.
like American Cholo said, do you understand that the corporate America and the government wants us against each other? He's like, for the past 5 years, I've been speaking about this and bringing us together, having this dialogue, talking with black and brown to bring unity and get rid of this street gang mentality bullshit.
And
It's one
see, the problem is all these people, I hate to say it, but North people, y'all have to get it together because what you say in the North, where you have these communities that are close together,
close together. Yeah,
actually has dire consequences in the South where we don't have that. Nothing is next
exactly.
to each other here.
Exactly.
So
And
we
even
don't have
worse,
that where it's like you can walk into a neighborhood and you're gonna see all black people. You're gonna walk into
and
a neighborhood and you're gonna see black and Hispanic people. And you may
yeah,
see
and
two or three white people, and that's going to
that's
be the
exactly
neighborhood.
it. That was
And
my
then
hood.
you're
There was
stirring
two
up all of
white
this
families
shit and you are bringing that animosity here.
here,
And
and
then we
then
have to clean up that shit. And
the
then y'all
outcome.
say, well, it's because black people in Texas or in the South are not as smart as us people in the
That's
north.
bullshit.
It's
That's bullshit.
bullshit.
And
But
here's
it's
another
real
thing.
world consequences to the bullshit that you spread.
And killings too. And people are not going to see these killings. They're not going to be at these funerals. The people in the north aren't going to be here to help bury these kids, help with the fucking car washes that we have to do to raise money to help bury these kids.
Or the barbecues,
Or
or
the
the
barbecues and all of that. Like, you're not around for that. So I suggest you northerners just
keep
nip it
that
in the
shit up
bud.
there. Because
Yes,
there's certain things you can say up there and that makes
because the
sense
violence
that
is real down here.
is not practical in the South.
And not just that, but it's only been 50 years since the prison bullshit and all of that.
Exactly.
So 50 years ain't that long ago. Like, we've worked quite a bit in that 50 years, and it took a lot. Because a lot of people were stuck on that bullshit. And finally, there are still some stuck on that bullshit that are lifers, that have been in prison for 40 years just getting out. But they can come out and see that it's not the case out here. That's what we're working for. We are trying to be united. And you people in the north and you white people that don't understand what goes on in these streets, don't have a clue of what it's like to live in the hood and having to figure out how to survive, you guys are causing problems.
And
Race
our
wars
hood
are
is not
serious down here.
and our hood is not your hood. Our
Exactly.
hoods
So
are
keep
built
your
different.
shit there.
Yeah, our hoods are built different. You know what I
Exactly.
mean?
We don't got like I had two white families, one that just moved in, and white boy Tommy, his family. Only ones in our hood. The rest of them are black and brown. That's it.
Exactly. And then you build this animosity, and
And we made them
and
the
the
minority, the
bloodshed
white people.
is real,
Uh-huh.
which just builds more animosity.
You know what though? Growing up with in the hood, we had a and I gotta say this, we had a together animosity towards white and the government.
Exactly.
That's what caused us to just always be together. The shit we went through because of the government, the system, and white privilege that didn't want us around, or white racists that didn't want it. Because there are some whites that aren't racist, and I admit, I agree, and I don't have a hatred towards white people. I have a hatred towards any race that is racist. And because
Well,
there are racists in every race, whether you want to believe it or not. There are
well, not
Mexican
necessarily
racists,
racist.
or just
We can
against
say
other
bias
races.
because
Bias.
we don't have the power that our rate where we can be racist that it would actually change any goddamn thing,
Yeah, exactly.
except for amongst each other.
Yeah, there you go. So race bias. Oh, okay. All right, Gracie. Good night. I love you, girl. Thanks for checking up on me earlier. I appreciate it. Um, I just think that it's ridiculous that these people that don't have any idea or any clue on what goes on and the politics involved, because there are politics involved in this street shit.
Exactly.
I still live by them. I may not be out there banging, but I still live by the politics because those rules are set there for a reason.
Good night.
And for both of us, black and brown in our communities, we live by a certain code that we need to stick together. Um, if you don't understand this culture, then you shouldn't speak on it and you shouldn't start shit between them because the shit is very real, and people are already being angry about this, and we don't need that. Like, let's
I
not let
don't need
this
it
divide us.
because I'm also a nurse and I get tired of stitching up bullet holes and
Yeah,
watching people die right in front of me. It is
I'm tired of
tragic.
seeing the YGs or even the OGs go through shit and die. Families having to do without because their breadwinner was killed, like over stupid shit. Stupid shit that was started by someone else that don't even know our area.
Exactly.
And we let them. That's the problem. I'm really kind of disappointed in our Hispanic communities being divided. Like this shit is starting to, like, I remember I was on IG and this guy, this Latino dude, this Chicano guy from Cali came at me and called me an N-word lover. And I said, "What's your problem?" And I said, "Why you care who I?" Because you're a Chicana. And I said, "So fucking what? What? Why do you care who I fuck? It's my body. Like, dude, you don't even know me. You're way in another state. Mind your fucking business." And I had to think back and I was like, this is that prison. So I started trying to have a dialogue with him. Like, what is your problem against black people? Why are you so against that? And trying to have a communication with him. Eventually we became cool and he started to understand where I was coming from. And that's all I want is just understanding.
And,
Understanding
and,
that when
and
some things
yes,
are said, it hurts.
we are well aware that back in the day there were people that came in from Mexico that had this um, mind pattern about black people.
Even about us Mexican Americans, there were people from Mexico that don't like us because we're not born in Mexico.
Exactly. But I also understand that the mechanisms that are behind that. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? I
it's wrong.
understand. I understand that if I lived in another country and all I seen were the excerpts they put on the news and the shit that they put in the movies,
Media plays a big part of this, and people don't understand that.
and it takes
Media
actually going
discernment.
outside of the country in order to really understand. I understand why
Yeah,
African people um, don't really understand Black American culture. I get it. You are surrounded by Black people all the time at this point. So
yeah,
you don't understand that we are dealing with racism on a daily basis in even the most micro ways.
yeah,
And
and not
it's
just that,
constant.
but we're dealing with the system that's set up for us to fail. You're dealing with media portraying shit, divide, division, all of that. It's a everyday struggle. Every day you're gonna run into something that's gonna make that you're gonna say they're being racist or they're against me. They're every day. Do you know how that is to live like that? I don't. They don't.
It's kind
That's
of
the
what I've always cherished about having a friendship with Pusha Thanos, and I miss him a lot. Is he made me, because I used to have that mindset, well, Africans don't like us anyway. But
but yeah, but
he made me
they're
understand that it's very hard to come to a new country and you are told everything. You've never been black. There's no such thing as being black in Africa.
you're just African.
You're
That's it.
or
That's it.
whatever.
Whatever
You're
Kenyan.
Nigerian or you're Kenyan or you're
Yeah,
whatever country you're in.
or if you're from a tribe that is actually active, then that's your tribe. You're not. You don't
Exactly.
know black, white, brown, all of.
So then you come here to America and everything you hear about black is bad. Well,
Man.
of course you don't want to be a part of the group that gets trashed or
And
beaten.
they portray it that it's the blacks that are doing it bad to make it feel. So then that's why they have issues with with African Americans.
But
That's why
the
Mexicans have
this
issues
is
with
the
us because
this is the beauty of this is one of the beautiful things about social media. They are now, even if it's just a tiny taste, are getting what we have been trying to tell them,
yeah,
because even though they had segregation, they were still able to maintain their blackness.
yeah,
We were not.
yeah,
And everything that we achieved was most often taken from us.
yeah.
And so when you have to think of things on that level, you have to understand why we are very protective
Effective. Yeah,
over stuff that we create and things that we make.
yeah.
Why we hold on so tight to it and fight anytime somebody outside of us tries to come in.
Girl, do you know that I used to I learned how to ignore this shit now, but when I would see videos of white chicks, Taco Tuesday, and they're eating like Taco Bell and shit, I used to be like, these bitches, man, they don't fucking know. And I'm like, and I used to be like, they don't understand, like, but oh well. We don't, here's the thing, Cinco de Mayo, Mexicans don't really celebrate that. They do in a sense because it's big in America. We kick back, we party, whatever. It's an excuse to get together, have. But Mexico, Mexicans do not. So they
America's
look at
probably
us like we're
America's,
crazy.
America's probably the only place in the world that celebrates death so fervently and um, often.
Or like
You think
we
you think
do
about
though.
just about every holiday that we have. Most of them is surrounded by death or dying
Yeah, Thanksgiving,
or violence.
Halloween. Yeah, I mean we do celebrate Dia de los Muertos, but it's not like that. It's we're just honoring our loved ones and ancestors that passed.
Yeah, but that's way different
It's
than
different.
wars and
They
Independence
they
Day,
they even changed the
Fourth of
narrative.
July.
They changed the narrative for Thanksgiving to fit into the government to have it be as a holiday to make it seem like the pilgrims and the natives got together and was like, let's eat. That wasn't how it was.
Of course not. But
But you
that's a
know,
part of hiding the history.
yeah, of course. A girl almost spazzed out. Or sorry, I almost freaked out when. Forgive me for saying that. Freaked out when I saw that video and Texas is trying to take away the about teaching of Martin Luther King and all of that in
Well,
the curriculum.
they have been trying for years. We've been fighting it for years, and now we get these, you know, because there's so much. This is what I mean by real world consequences. This is real world shit that happens in the South that people don't really understand when they're in the North. I keep trying to explain, there's a different dynamic here.
Yeah,
We may have the largest population of black people, but we are still the smallest.
yeah,
We are
yeah,
still the minority.
yeah. It's fucked up, man. And
So
they don't get it. Watson was telling me, he's like, in New York we have a Dominican neighborhood where Dominicans live, Puerto Rican neighborhood where Puerto Rican, we have a Haitian, Jamaican, then we have and I was like, see, we're not like that here. We're all together. Whites are in their own area, but all of us that are of color, brown, black, we're all in the same neighborhoods. Like we don't have a Dominican neighborhood here where only Dominicans are. We don't have, we are together. So we have to learn to, that's why we're not against each other, why we've worked so hard to maintain uh, a relationship together
and
because
a
of all
certain
the shit
amount of
that went
equanimity.
on in the past. We've learned to have respect and get to know and be each other's just be there for each other. I said it's very different when I went to Jersey. It's the same thing in Jersey, and I was like, wow, this is crazy. Like I don't understand how why it's like that. I was like, why are you guys so separated here?
Exactly.
And they couldn't, because like I got people from Haiti, I got people from Nigeria. Two different families live down the street. Other families from different areas from Africa live down the street. Mexicans from over here. I got a white dude that lives across the street, his family, but they're very, very cool. I got black family from Philly that lives next door to me. Another Mexican family that from America that live here. Like we are all mixed
Yeah, we
together.
don't, and it's so not understanding that
Yes.
dynamic when you say, when you make these protestations about um, being at war with everybody and only looking out for yourself, then you put us in an untenable,
Yes.
unwinnable position here.
And especially if you got so many followers that are believing the shit you're spewing, it's creating tension on our end in the South over here and in the West that isn't, that you're not going to feel the ramifications of, but we are.
And you may feel the ramifications for, because one thing I know for sure is if it happens in the South, eventually it's going
It's
to
going to happen.
trickle across the country.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But now, you know, the fact that he's just so like it's just so willing to start. He's going on Twitter Space a lot with these titles, FBA, Latinos against FBA, Mexican, and I'm just like, no, we're not. There
It's,
might be some, but I
and
know.
it's all if you even if you, how do you, I've never wanted to be a part of any specific group,
Me
only
neither.
because I think any group that you're a part of is normally has a self-interest portion that's involved. And
Yeah,
so when I think about the FBA and I'm asking, what is FBA? Explain
fundamental
to
law,
me,
Black Americans.
explain to me the purpose. What is the goal? And you
Yeah,
can't just say reparations, because what is the goal?
yeah,
Because there's no way you're going to get reparations if you only just want to talk to black people, because that's not how this shit work.
right. Yeah,
It's just not.
I get it. I do.
If you
He
can't call people all of these racial slurs, or gender slurs, or functional slurs, or ableist slurs, and think that somebody is going to rally to your cause.
right.
That's just not how this shit works.
Right. And I tend to think that people that aren't as educated on what's really going on are the ones that are sticking and following, or they're extremists to the sense to where they really believe what he's saying. Um, he
Yes,
said,
you believe what he's. It's easy to believe what he's saying when you are often the focus of white supremacy.
yeah, yeah, I get it.
It's
He said
easy to
that,
believe what he's saying if you have no outside knowledge except for the people that you are normally around.
right. But then he said something that struck me like, that's not what we do. He's like, Mexicans check the white mark on the census. No, I don't.
Not
I only
here.
I check the ethnic part. I don't check a race. I don't check a race because they only have white, black, and certain Asian. They don't. For I check the ethnic where it says Hispanic, or other. I don't check race because they don't have a race box for us. We're not considered a race. We're
Well, in
considered
Texas, they have a race box for everybody except for no. They have you're either white,
black.
you're black, or you're Hispanic, and then at the bottom it says, but
See
not
here,
of, but or but not of Mexican origin.
see,
So,
and
like,
here,
if you're Cuban or
yeah,
Brazilian, you can check that box, and so they know that you're not Mexican.
right. So here we don't have that. We have for race, we have black, white. I think it's Native American. I think, but for ethnic, in the ethnic section, we have Mexican, and whatever else. And
And they
then
put in the
and then
black
at the
box,
bottom it says not of whatever, not of white descent, not of his, whatever.
and
I
see, in
just click
Texas they
my
have
box.
that under the black box, not of black, but not of Mexican origin,
Yeah, yeah. See, and
to
but
weed out the Afro Latinos.
he said all Afro Latinos check the white box, and all Latinos check the white box. And I was like, why would we? We're not white.
And that's not true.
That's
I
not
don't
true.
know if it's true in the north, but I know
North,
in the
but
south
in the
they are
south.
very specific. They want to
And
know.
here in the West, it's not true either. Like they have for us Mexicans, Hispanic of Mexican descent. Then they have not of white descent, not of. So I don't click a race, I click an ethnic box because my for a race for me is not up there. I would have to click other on
Hmm.
race, other.
Yeah, it's so ridiculous.
It is. It's like, dude, why do you, and they do this so they can separate us.
Now there are some Mexican people who check the white box only because they're leaning into whiteness. It's a whole lot easier to be white than it is to be Mexican.
Exactly. Exactly. And
It's a
then and
whole lot
we have
easier
a
to be.
certain term for them, okay? But I'm not gonna say it. We need to unify. Whether they think they're part white or whatever, maybe they might be part white. Who knows? They could be part European and Mexican.
And then it doesn't help when these stars start. Every time something happens for black people, they chime in. Well, what about the Mexicans? Or what about the Asians? Or what about? Or something happens. It's just.
What gets me is that the minute, like I was saying earlier, I respect the fact that when something tragic happens with the black community, as far as like the George Floyd, the African community, American community got together and was like, we're not having this shit. We're done. Fuck that. People started recording police that were pulling them over.
Hmm.
Other races started recording police. But when it happens to one of us, we don't do that. Like will be outraged in the area that it happened, but we're not uniting and making it stand like we're done with this shit. Like these cops need to leave it because it happens to us a lot. We're getting
A
killed by
lot.
police too. My sons has had run in with the cops here a lot, and I have to worry like one day something's gonna happen. Um, and I just like I respect the fact that you guys do that, and we did it with you guys. But when it comes to us, I'm like, why aren't we doing that? We're too busy fighting each other, this ethnic pride and this Mexican pride, and that we're not unifying to say, hey, this police shit brutality's got to stop. We're done being treated like we want our respect. We want to be
Exactly.
treated like people too. Police brutality happens to us too, but there's only a select few of us. And then if you look at celebrities, there's a very, very minute amount of people that speak on it. Very,
Hmm.
very tiny amount.
Because
We
most
don't have that.
most often after a certain income.
Yes.
people start leaning into.
Like the high school in Colorado where they were throwing tortillas at the kids, the Mexican kids
Yeah,
in the school.
exactly. And it's not okay.
It's not, but that was it was talked about for a little bit and then done. Nothing nothing happened about it. And I'm like, why aren't we all in the country, all of us stick in saying, hey, this is our race, like our ethnic group, our we're Mexicans. We're not gonna take this shit. Let's stand up and fight. We need that. I
Yeah,
wish
but
our people would stick together.
this is the thing. The beauty of divide and conquer is it's just not enough to make any kind of noise.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
so you kind of all end up
And
in.
then when you think about it, through the whole country, Mexicans are mostly like we got a lot of Latinos, different like Dominican, whatever, and all of that. But Mexicans are mostly Texas, California, Arizona, New Mexico, Nevada.
Hmm.
We don't have a big number to raise, like, and then the rest of them, like, if there are some, they're in these areas where they're very far and few.
Hmm. Yeah.
So,
Because when stuff happens at the border, it's not like you go to the border and you only see Mexicans out
no,
there. You
there
see
were a
all
lot
of
of
us out there. We all show up.
remember the Haitians that were being treated like shit at the
Yeah,
border?
everybody showed up.
Yeah,
So
but
it's
oh, that's
always amazing to me when I hear people say
we still have Mexican channels.
Mexicans don't like black people, or black people don't like Mexicans, because I'm like, I don't know where you people live, but
Right.
that
Not
is
really
not
us.
normally my experience.
Mine either. I even watch these channels, different channels of people that are black that go to Mexico, Guatemala, and stuff just to go touring. And they always make great videos, and the people are treating them great. They're happy. They're all celebrating together. I'm like, where's this hate at that everyone's talking about?
Hi.
Um, we still have Mexican kids in dog kennels at the border, separated from their families, and
But
nothing's being said about it anymore.
the problem is, because they were separated at such
Hey, Bronson.
because they were separated at such a young age, and they didn't take, the files were awful, that they just don't have any parents to send them to. They don't know who they belong to.
But here's the thing: if they really wanted to find the parents, they could go to the Mexican side and
They
say, "Hey,
I, this has been, they have, but how many are, because
my
most of
parents
those
could be
kids
dead."
aren't from Mexico. Most of those kids are from
America,
further than Mexico. So
Guatemala,
yeah, so
Brazil.
it's very hard to find their
Oh
parents.
yeah, a lot of what Guatemalans and Brazilians and Hondurans were riding the train to try to get across because life's so fucking hard over there, and their kids were taken. And I get it, but I don't think they should be in dog kennels.
Well, this was the problem, because this happened here, so I was aware of it. When they came, it was almost 10,000, all children with
Yeah,
no parent
they were
that they
sending the
sent
kids.
to. They had nowhere to put them, so they still had to contain them into an area. And actually, the building that you see those places in, those are closed down Walmarts,
I know.
because
We have them here.
the air conditioning systems were already in place. So if you have 10,000 people that show up and all of them are children at the same time, where are you going to put them? And none of them have families.
Yeah.
So you have to figure it out. And it's not always the best solution, but it was the solution that
But
they had
now,
available.
but let me ask you something. Say it was black people, black kids in
It
those
was.
more than the Latin community. I'm saying,
They do it to Haitians all the time.
right? The Haitians were treated like shit too.
Yeah.
But what happened when that happened? It was a big uproar, right?
Yeah.
Our
But
people
we
are fucking quiet, is what I'm saying. My people are quiet.
yeah, we're not quiet here.
Like
In Texas, they're not quiet at all. They're at that border almost every week.
yeah, I mean, we got people at the border too, but I'm talking in the states, the communities, the people
Yeah,
that are here that are like those are our people too. We are like they're quiet. Like I've gone to
because
a town hall meeting.
a lot of people that live here have taken on this white supremacist mentality
They will
that
go to town hall meetings to discuss
they've
these
taken
things.
on
I've
this
been
white
there.
supremacist mentality that immigrants are somehow bad for the country. I have never heard so many white supremacist talking points being sprouted by black and brown people.
I did at the town hall meetings. I have, and it's
Yeah,
ridiculous. I'm like, this country was founded. America was built on immigrants, slaves, immigrants that came to our country, took it from the natives, and treated the blacks like they're slaves to build everything. And now you don't want immigrants here unless they're white, because Russians can come and get asylum easily.
well, the only reason
Russians,
they're doing that is because they are slowly becoming outnumbered.
well, look at. I mean, there are. Fuck, Trump married two Russian women in his life that got easy. I mean, they're like, we did it the right way. So fucking what? Nobody
And
treats you like shit here.
I don't
They
care what
treat you
nobody
like
says.
you're white.
Fear of a Black Planet is not just a song.
Huh?
Fear of a Black Planet is not just a song.
Yep.
Hey Watson, you want to?
You want to come up and talk, Watson? You
The
can
link is
click
right
on the
there.
link.
You don't have
Click
to
on
show
the
your
link.
face.
You don't have to show your face, and I could just say, hey, it's my homie. I don't need to say your name. If you do decide after a while to click in, SB can text me, and then we don't have to say your name. He's in hiding.
Yeah, I'm always in hiding.
Oh, I know he did. 100,000 Ukrainians he took in, and all the billions he's giving to them. Well, we have tons of homeless people, kids in the streets, struggling, don't have. It
Because
is what it is. We get involved in other people's countries, thinking they have to live the way our government is. They want other countries to rule like
Mhm.
our government does. So they go and stick their nose in there and then offer up all this money while our country is literally.
uh, almost to the point. Well, this is the thing. They keep this country stupid so that you can control the stupid.
Oh yeah, there. You know that saying woke. There's not very many that are really understanding. Like there are people that say they're woke but still watch the news to get their information. And I'm like, you the
And
news
I'm
is
not woke.
old.
I'm not woke. I've never been asleep. I've always known
That's
exactly
what
what
I'm
this
saying.
country is.
Yeah.
So I hate
I'm
that
just
term
like,
woke anyway because
because you
I'm not woke.
understand from an early age what's really going on. But there are people that say, yeah, I'm woke, and yet they pay attention to their news. They pay attention to what the government says, and that's what they
I
go
pay
by.
attention. I pay attention to
I
what the
pay
government
attention.
says,
I
but
do, but
I
only
never
so
take
I
that
can
shit for
read.
gospel.
That's what I'm saying. I pay attention so I can read between the lines on what's really going on. Because you have to. You have to know how to read between the lines and understand, hey, it's not what they're saying that's really happening. It's this. But people take their shit like gospel and then say, yeah, I'm woke. No, you don't understand that the media is owned.
Well, just like they said, Trump put money in put infrastructure money into the black community, and I was like, okay, they put money in the black community to build roads, but they didn't hire black
But yeah,
construction companies to build
to
those
work.
roads.
Yeah,
That,
exactly.
doesn't matter how much
Oh,
money you put into the community if the community is not going to prosper from the money.
transfer. Exactly. They're just gonna get the roads. If that's all you want, I guess. Our roads are
Well,
fucked up.
I guess when you fight, when people keep saying,
I gotta go to get something to drink real quick.
all right,
Gotta pee. I'm sorry, but
go for
drinking.
it.
Okay, I'm gonna cover myself. Keep them entertained.
Yeah, it's been one of those weeks where I couldn't make it happen, even though I wanted to. I wanted to do Bahat Medea. I wanted to really we really wanted to talk about the album and give her the shine that she deserved, because 96 was so fire that I think sometimes a lot of dope artists got overlooked. And so um we wanted to do that, but this week has been so frustrating and so irritating. And sometimes the stupid can drown out what's important. And it can also make it seem like we're all saying this one thing, and um that's not true. Nancy Pelosi's trip to Taiwan, Democrats are sometimes their own worst enemy. Nancy Pelosi
I'm like,
need
are
to
you? Is
bring
she
her narrow ass back
that? Is
from over there to in Taiwan and keep
is she
rock.
trying to start a war between China and America? We already got Russians and Russia's pissed with this. Now she's literally setting off China. It's a problem, man. Like, I don't know. It might be possible. Who
And does
knows?
it really matter if she invited Republicans to go with
She
her after
shouldn't
what
have
they did with the
gone.
veterans? I am so sick of people trying to cater to Republicans. Fuck Republicans right now,
Yeah,
because after what they did to the veterans with the exact same bill, it's so frustrating to me.
it is. You
It's
know
so
they were trying
completely
to pass.
frustrating to me. I'm not catering to people who keep telling me that I'm not worthy. I'm
You
not
know they
catering.
tried.
I live in Texas. We have a Republican run state.
So do
And
we.
everybody always turns and looks at the money, but they're not looking at the fact that they keep telling us to turn down our air conditioners so that the grid doesn't blow up.
Blow
They
up.
don't pay attention to the many people who died when it froze and the grid went out. They don't pay attention to the black people that are sitting in these row houses and can barely survive because, oh, they have jobs. But if all of the jobs are $7.25 an hour,
Can't
what
live.
difference does it make if they have jobs?
Exactly. You know what? Here they were trying to pass a law in Arizona to make being homeless illegal. You know how
It's
many
so
homeless people
frustrating to
we
me.
have? I got homeless people living behind my house in the alley, in tents in that little desert. I got people. There are people all over Tucson and Arizona, black, white, brown, don't matter, homeless, struggling, and they want to make that illegal here. Like,
Because they need free workers. And
yeah,
the only place you can have slaves is prison.
prison. That is a fact. It's still on the same slavery bullshit that it was when it was created. Prison was created on the slave for slavery mentality, so that they can imprison. It's still run like you are a slave. In fact, that is what it is when you go to prison. I don't care what fucking race you are. You're
Exactly.
still working for what? 20 cents an hour, if that? 10 cents an hour? And you have to wake up when they say, do what they say. Yeah, here minimum wage in Arizona is 15 something an hour. But even that, you can't live on that if you have a family. Rent
Here,
is like over 1,000 a
minimum
month.
wage here is still $7.25. Make it make sense.
That is crazy. They raised it here
Make
in
it make
Tucson.
sense.
The only Tucson, because Tucson has a Democratic um, person in charge here. But Arizona is a Republican state. The governor, remember Governor Douchey? Douche, what I call him Douche, but you know what I'm talking about. He was the main, but Tucson has a Democratic. What is the head of a city? Mayor?
Hmm.
Okay, Mayor. In fact, she went after Trump. She said, "You're not coming back here to do a presidential campaign if you don't pay us the money you owe us from the last one. You owe
Hmm.
us more than $50,000. Until you pay that, you can't come back to Tucson." And our governor was pissed. She said, "I am the law in Tucson."
It's
She's
kind of the
Mexican
beauty.
too.
It's kind of the beauty of San Antonio. We are a Democratic stronghold, but we
Yeah.
are the kind of Democratic stronghold that actually votes. So
Votes.
things are a lot better in our little haven,
Us too, because we
because
vote.
we actually give a shit about each
Mhm.
other. So we don't mind paying extra property taxes so that mental health is taken care of,
Care of.
you know,
Yeah.
that mental health is free, that
Here
you
too.
can just go to our county hospital, which has some of the best physicians in the world,
Yeah,
and actually get services.
we even did it to where anyone can get uh, medical here and still have a job.
Exactly.
Mental
We
health
have
is here free.
preschool. We have preschool universally. So
Yeah,
when your child is 3, they can go to preschool.
yeah, here too. And anyone can go and get free lunch in summer. They
Yeah.
all schools are open for people who can't afford. All, the whole family can go and get free breakfast,
Hello.
free lunch, all of that. Hey, what's up, Scribe? So that's just Tucson, though. The
Yeah,
rest,
that's just San Antonio. The
a
rest
lot
of
of others,
Texas is
it's
so backwards.
Republican. Yeah, it's bad. And traveling to Phoenix irritates the shit out of me because it's Republican and everything is different than it is here. Like some parts of Phoenix, like you got Chandler, everything, like it's just, yeah.
Yeah, I keep saying that I'm going to
Oh, I remember. I remember. What? Yeah. Go ahead.
mhm.
No, I was looking at Watson's comment.
Oh
Remember
yeah,
Janet
Jan
Brewer?
Brewer.
Hey,
Well, we got Greg
remember?
Abbott, who's way worse than Jan Brewer,
Yeah, he is. Remember when everyone
and
was saying,
he's stupid.
um,
So that's even worse.
remember everyone was saying Nancy was smoking crack? Nancy Pelosi was on crack?
Yeah, yeah. You know, Nancy Pelosi is really the least of my worries right now.
Too. If I'm
My
just
main
trying to make
concern
sure,
is the fact that we have these different groups that have convinced black people and brown people not
to
to
be
vote,
against each other and not to vote, yes.
and
The
not to
man,
vote for their own interest. You're going to vote for somebody who is looking to destroy you,
Yeah.
to prove a point to Democrats, you're biting off your nose to spite your face. It's one of the stupidest strategies I've ever heard in my life. It's not even a
Because
strategy, it's so idiotic.
it
I
is.
believe in holding people accountable. I'm not saying that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm saying if you want to hold people accountable, then you need to have the people in place to run for
Yeah.
office that you know who are going to do what you want them to do. You
Change
can't
only happens if you go and you try to make it change. You can't do that if you're not voting.
you
You
can't
have
be a sideline cheerleader and think you're going to change
It's
anything.
like people who say, fuck, I didn't win the lottery, but then they don't ever play the lottery. So how the fuck are you supposed to win if you don't play? And how are you going to complain to people who do play and don't win? At least they're trying. It's the same thing with voting. We're trying to make a difference by voting.
Exactly, Watson.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I agree. And then the whole race thing is just ridiculous. The reason Ted Cruz and them keep winning though is because, like SP said, San Antonio may be a Democratic part, but everything else is Republicans. The same here. That's why we keep getting these fucking governors that are Republican.
And your message is working. Yes, you're telling black people not to vote for Democrats as
Yeah,
if that's going to make their real life circumstances right here, right now, any better.
yeah.
We're not in an area where this stuff
We're
is
we're
not going to affect us in real time. This
and
is going to
Republicans
affect us in real time.
Republicans support the wealthy. There's a certain percentage of each race that has that amount of money that can be affected by Republicans. But the rest of us that aren't in that
Mhm.
financial bracket do not get those benefits that
Exactly.
Republicans give the wealthy. So why are we voting for them when they aren't doing anything to help us? They don't
And they're
care about
taking
our communities.
and they're told the and here they've told us that they're trying to outlaw us videotaping police officers in one of the most racist states.
No,
And
no,
you mean to
have
tell
to
me that you're
support.
going to tell black people not to vote? Are you kidding me right now?
That's ridiculous.
You
That is,
have to be kidding me.
yeah. My hair is looking crazy. God.
And this is not about
Right. That is right, Watson. They do hate the working class.
and
And
it's
they
not
really hate the
necessarily,
lower class.
but they are smart enough to use poor white people and making them think that they're in the situation that they're in
Look
because
at
of immigrants or
look at
because
look
of
at all the people that went to the Capitol to destroy and throw shit against the walls and rampage it. Most of them were all white. And what did Trump do afterwards? He didn't fight for them
or pardon them
or
because
pardon them.
he's trying to save his own butt.
That's exactly right. And they fell for it. They were dumb enough to believe it, went again, started saying shit about immigrants, black, brown, blah, blah, blah. And look at your leader just left you.
And then and
Pobrecillos.
then what tickled me the most is when I seen that black dude in there, and he was surprised.
Yeah. I was
They,
like,
I love when black people discover they black with tickles.
that's the same thing when people discover they're actually brown.
It tickles the hell out of me.
Exactly, Scribe. Exactly, Scribe. If anyone wants to come in and have a discussion with us, click the link. It's up in the chat. You can come in. You don't have to be on video. You can press. You don't have to hit the camera. You can just have your voice on the channel and give
And
us
have
your.
a conversation. Yeah, you don't have to show your
Oh
face.
yeah. They definitely do. They definitely do, man. And people fall for it. That's the problem. That's
Mm-hmm.
why that dude was praying in the IG video that I saw, praying to Donald Trump. That's his God. He was praying to Donald Trump. And I just thought, God, he's got to be one of the stupid ones that
No.
was fooled. He's got to be one of the stupid ones that was fooled by all this shit. If
Well,
he's praying to Trump,
you know how I feel about uh, religion in general. Not
yeah,
necessarily religion, more so church.
yeah, I don't. Well, see, even religion for me, because I feel religion was used to control the masses. I believe in my own spiritual what I believe.
Uh
I don't
huh.
need to go to church to talk to God. I
No.
can do it here at home. I don't need to go to church to believe in what I believe in. I can. I know what I believe in. I know all the books I've read and all the teachings and all the history I've gone through. And I know what I believe in. And I'm good with that. But
Maria,
I
tag
tell
you in.
you, if
Tag
I'm
you in. I'm finna go do what you did.
okay, okay. But I'd be damned if I'm gonna be told by a man on the pulpit that I'm sinning. He's not God. He can't judge me. Oh, there are a lot of people supporting Candace though. It does trip me out. Like I'm like, what? Yeah, I got my own relationship with yeah. I've read the Quran, I've read the Tanakh, the Torah, the Holy Bible. I've read a lot of shit. I've read up on Buddhism. I've studied it all when I was locked up, so I know what I believe. I feel like depression is very hard and it takes work. You got to make your son. It's hard. It's hard because the most part is it's constantly on your heart and on your mind. This depression, it weighs on you, but you got to get up every day and fight against it. The most important thing is to talk to someone about it, because if you're really going through it, it's so difficult to do it alone. A friend, someone you trust that can literally help you with this. And if you don't have that, then I would suggest a therapist. There is nothing wrong with therapy. I've gone through therapy many times. I had to for all the shit I've gone through. And it really did help. I know the signs now when I start to go down that route, or when my OCD is starting to get out of control. I know the signs and I know what to do to prevent it from overpowering me. But you learn that through therapy and through discussion and talking about what's going on with you, because it's such a hard thing to battle. It's too hard to battle on your own. I'm so sorry, Christy. My condolences. Yeah, Watson, I'm here for you anytime if you want to talk about it. You know you call me anytime and I'm here for you. But if it's really, really bad and it's weighing real heavy on you, I would see if you have because I'm assuming you've got benefits through work, and see if therapy is part of that, of your medical, and talk to someone. I mean, like I said, I'm here for you. It's super hard. Um, I gotta help my daughter out all the time with her anxiety and depression, and I just gotta be there for her and try to talk her through it. And the advice I give her is, it's something that weighs very heavy on you, and it's something you gotta literally fight daily. You
Mm-hmm.
want to lay in bed, you gotta force yourself to get up. You got to force yourself to get up and get out of what is keeping you there, focused on this part that's bringing you down. She started going to the gym, every day when after she took my granddaughter to school. She would go to the, and she's doing much better. Even that, meditation can help. Working out, like riding your bike.
And
Um,
you have to change your narrative.
you have to. It's very, yeah,
And we're so used to coming down on ourselves that we have a hard time. And I don't mean these these affirmations.
yeah.
I mean really changing your narrative.
Narrative.
Uh,
It's a fight. You got to really fight,
because you can say you deserve the best,
but
but
do you
until you believe you deserve the best, it doesn't matter how much you say it, you're not going to actually change the things that need to be changed in order for you to get the best. So
That's
positive
great.
affirmations can be good, but unless you actually change the way your mind is processing them,
Yeah.
processing the information that's coming into your head, then you're always going to have this cycle of doing good for about a week and then
Yeah,
falling
and
back
the
into that same
problem
pattern.
the problem is we're taught from a very the time we come out of the womb how to think, what to think, how to deal with shit, everything. We are our brain is literally trained by others until we get to a certain point where we're old enough to make our own decisions, but we've been so by school, by church, everything on conditioned on what to think, how to think, and this and that. You literally gotta change the way you think, and your mind is a muscle. You gotta work it out. You gotta train your brain to work differently and think differently, and
And
it's a battle. It's
Watson, I have high anxiety too, and the way I stop my anxiety, because if I gave into it, we wouldn't even be doing this podcast.
Yeah. I don't have anxiety, but I did battle through very bad post traumatic stress disorder. I went through very severe bipolarism and a very severe OCD. I got through the post traumatic. I got through the bipolarism. I still have form of OCD that fucks with me, but I've learned to see the signs and learn how to, even though like I gotta check my noties. That is a OCD thing. The doors locked, how I do certain things, like waking up at 3 in the morning to get everything ready and be have this time for work. That's part of my OCD. I have to do that. Otherwise, if I wake up at 4, it fucks my whole day up because I feel I don't have the right amount of time to do everything I need to do as an obsessive compulsive person. But the bipolarism and the post traumatic therapy helped me a lot and retraining my brain.
And with
Do you know?
anxiety, I've learned to stop in the moment. I'll just stop whatever I'm doing and just close my eyes and breathe and ask myself, why? Why
You
are you anxious? Why are you anxious right now? And once I have the answer to that question, then I can ask myself, well, what's the worst thing that can
that
happen?
can happen.
Because without doing that, I would have never even gotten on a boat. I would never have zip line. I've never done anything because I'm definitely afraid of heights. So much so I start shaking. But
Yeah,
I talk myself into doing things because I never want to give in to fear, and I never
right.
want to give in to the anxiety. Even
Yeah,
today, I used when I drove, when I would drive, if a 18 wheeler came up behind me, I would literally slow down to 45 and move into the slow lane until
My
they came.
daughter, my daughter gets very high anxiety driving next to our as you know, the big diesel trucks on the
So
freeway. She feels they're gonna cross over and not see her.
so I taught myself. I learned to drive an 18 wheeler
I just
because
passed him. I'm
I
like,
was so anxious. It was just I'd have so much anxiety about getting on the freeway. I can go anywhere on the back street,
yeah, yeah.
but I
I'm like,
had to
I'm
get
good at
over that.
freeway driving. My daughter's anxiety pulls into me though when we're on the freeway together or we're not driving, because she literally her anxiety comes out, and I gotta like I tell her like, girl, I'm good. I know how to drive on the freeway, but I
Mhm.
gotta realize it's her anxiety. I gotta try to keep her calm. I'm gonna tell you something, Watson. You probably don't know. Shopping, being a shopaholic and always having to buy shit you don't need is a form of bipolarism. Look it up. You do manic stuff when you're bipolar. Manic shopping, manic whatever, cooking, whatever. It's always manic. I just remembered something he had told me earlier. That's why I'm telling him this.
I
Um,
hate shopping.
I don't. I love it. But
I
I
hate
learned how
shopping.
to budget. Because I used to be like that. I'd be like, oh, look, these color pencils. I could use those. I didn't need no fucking color pencils. But there I was buying boxes and boxes of different colors just to have them. And that's when I found out that's a form of bipolarism. I got over it. Oh, yeah, we talked about that earlier. The Beyonce taking the word down and people being upset. Yeah, Watson, you know what I'm talking about with the shopping, being upset that she took it down the same way they're upset that Tyga took down the video. It's their product. It's what they made. If they want to take it down because they don't want to offend somebody, that's their prerogative.
And then you have
And
to
they're
look at how
and
many.
how many followers are they going to get now
Well, not
for
even
them
that.
to
Just look
offend?
at how many fans does she already have that are disabled. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you can't just cater to some. You have to cater to all.
Yeah,
You
but
know.
now, like with Tyga doing that and her doing that, there are people that probably weren't thinking of being a fan, and now because of respect they're like, oh, I'm going to support, because
Mhm.
they had respect enough to take it down knowing they, you know,
And then it probably
it don't
it,
bother
it,
me either. I'm considered
it gave her
disabled.
the opportunity to take Kia off her album. So there's
Yeah,
that too, which was
you
the
saw all that shit going
which
on,
was
right?
which was
Watson and
the
I talked
pettiest Texas shit I've ever seen in my life.
about her using her without paying her song
Well,
without
at
paying her.
first it was first the first problem is she doesn't own her publishing.
That's right. Pharrell does.
The second problem is she's not on any of the credits on her album. So what Beyonce did was she gave her credit on this album.
Album, and she
And,
still went off on it.
and it was only like 4 seconds. Uh, it was only like 4 seconds.
I didn't listen to Beyonce's album. I'm sorry, guys.
It's a dope. It's house music.
I'm
If you like
not.
house music, if you like dance music and house music, you'll like that album.
I've been listening to house music since the early '80s. I mean, we
Well,
had
it's
house music
not.
back then.
I think it's not that she used the word after Lizzo. Her album was already coming out. Um, she
Yeah,
had already finished the album, so it wasn't like
I have
she
no
even
idea
thought
on.
about. I don't think she even thought about it.
I don't know what happened there, Watson. SP knows more about this than I do.
But
I
it
know about
tickled.
her taking the word out. I know about her and what's her name wanting upset that Beyonce used what was it 4 seconds of her song And I was like, but she don't own her song. Like she may have sung the fuck out of that song. She might have wrote that song. Pharrell and them have credits for writing it on her own album. She don't.
And so I think that the problem is with Pharrell. And she was like,
Exactly.
it's professional courtesy that you call me.
Why? You don't
Why?
own it.
I don't even
And
know.
she should own it. Here's the problem. She should own her own shit. That is a Pharrell problem, though, and she should be taking it up with her instead of going against woman and woman fighting against each other for shit that Beyonce didn't have to call her. At least she gave her the decency to put her on the credit on her album, right? That's a form of sisterhood to me, but she's not happy with it.
Well, if she wasn't happy with it, just like she said, I just thought that I thought it was like the whole song. So when I listened to it, I was like, well, where she? I listened to that song like 3 times before I found her part.
It's that little.
It's that little, and she
That
still gave her writing credit on her song.
I was tripping out because, excuse me,
Of course, he is
people
watching.
were, yeah, Pharrell is the problem. But he's out here talking about owning your own shit. Dude, how much other artist albums or art songs do you own? Um, People are talking about Beyonce for having 23 writers credits on the, I don't know if it was a song.
Well, it was a song, but it was okay. It was an interpolation of different albums. So anytime you sample different albums, you have to give each album writing
I
credit.
don't know what's it. Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
they used different albums. They sampled different albums. So every album you sample has to
yeah.
have a writing
Every
credit.
artist of that sample that's
Has
on
to
that
have a
writing
writing
credit
credit.
for that, if they're on the sample of a writer's credit, those writers have to be put on that, even if
Exactly.
it's just a sample.
So that's why it was 24 artists on there.
Yeah,
Because if you
I
use the
don't know.
drums from this, or the guitar from this, and the bass from this, and this
Yeah,
from this, and this from that, then you have to put all of those people on the album.
right, and they all get a part of it. Um, I don't know
I
why.
don't think it's like it's. I don't think it. Nikki's beef is
Is it another female artist she's beefing with? She did that live about where
Nikki's
she said
problem.
fans are getting stupider and stupider if they believe this chick. That's what Nikki said.
I think Nikki's problem is not a she's one of those, if you do something to her, she's like a female Eminem
For life.
for life. It's for life.
That's me. I'm barely learning to
All
let
right,
some
Christy. Let's
people
check you
be
later.
forgiven. Yeah, take care. Yeah, we're gonna be getting off right now too.
We're gonna get off in
Um,
just a second. We're just shooting the shit.
yeah, but it took me up until this year to learn how to let certain people that I felt have wronged me to where I can literally calm down and be okay and give them a little slack, like something that's not so bad against me. Other people, it's for life. If you're blocked, it's for life. It ain't, I ain't never unblocking you. If you live in Tucson and you and I don't talk anymore, that's for life. There's a reason, you know.
Yeah, I think as I've gotten older, I don't have that much energy no more.
Yeah, and that's why I have to.
I just don't care. I
No,
don't
but
even have to. We don't even have to have a discussion. I can be civil.
See,
I
for
can
me,
see.
it's this. It's for life because I am protecting my energy. And the reason it is why we don't talk is because it was a lot of negative back and forth.
Hmm.
And I don't need to go through that no more. So it's better for my peace to just not associate with you, this person, and keep my peace of mind and woosah.
Yeah, I'm
I don't
very
have to
good
worry
at.
about the back and forth.
Hey, Lord Triple A,
Hey, Triple A,
Yo, peace, mercy, and blessings. What's good? What's good?
what's good?
chilling. How you doing?
We were having a discussion on a lot of issues, the brown and black, what's going on, uh, Nancy Pelosi in China, the government, Republican, Democrat, all that. We're just shooting the shit.
I mean,
What
it's
about with
good to put
you?
the knowledge out there, right?
Yeah, what's going on out there where you're at?
Not much, man. I mean, the
The
U.S.
nights
president,
are
U.S. president, U.S. president just came over to visit,
oh yeah.
and yeah, and for the first time, we let him
Shook
know what's
hands.
what.
Oh yeah, yeah, I saw that.
We let him know what's what. Like, yo, like, listen, we're willing to
Joe,
cooperate. We're willing to cooperate, but stay out of our shit.
I do feel, and I have to say this, I feel like our government always wants to go into other countries because they want those countries to run like our government
And actually, I think our country goes into other countries
to
because,
take shit.
well, no, because our military is a
Oil,
jobs
yes,
is a jobs program, and in order for you to have jobs, you actually have to be doing something. So they start all of this bullshit because this is a jobs program.
yeah,
And it's one of the largest employers in the United States. And without a military as large as it is, then this country crumbles.
yeah. But I do think, like, I mean, it's been going on since before World War I, World War II, whatever.
Yeah, it's beyond just military dominance. Nah,
Yeah,
it's fucked up.
yeah.
Cause
It's
cause 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 how to obtain power in the world has changed. Now there's soft powers. Now there's economic power. Now there's like diplomatic power and all that shit. Like you can't like it ain't just a matter of
hey, 50 Cent is Watson's goat. I need to say it. He told me to tell you. Okay, I'm done. Go ahead.
okay, okay. Tell him I said hi. Tell him I said yo. I know he hear me. I know he hear me, bro. My thoughts and prayers are with you, fam.
Okay. Yeah, scribe. There's a reason why he's saying that about 50 Cent. Uh, we know how Triple
To
A
make
feels about
Triple A's
50.
head explode.
50 he ain't
Nah, my thoughts and prayers. No, my thoughts and prayers are with Watson, bro. I know he
okay.
had
So,
a like.
so what's going on with Saudi Arabia and the war in Yemen? Are they being dictatorshipish or not?
That is a very, very big can of worms that you do not want opened on this show.
I mean, I'm just asking. Is it? Are you against the war in Yemen or are you for it? Or if you don't want to comment, that's fine. But do you think it's a justified war?
I am against the killing of innocent people,
There you go. Me too.
and I am for.
Amazing.
However, I am for the emasculation of Iran adjacent regimes, like because the
I
Iranian
agree.
government, the Iranian government has been running amok for the longest,
I
Okay.
and they
agree.
need to be put in their fucking place.
Okay,
Fuck
but
that.
do you
Fuck
do you
that government.
okay, but do you think Saudi Arabia are they like a form of dictatorship or no? I don't know much. Like I just know what's said when I watched it. I that's
Yeah,
why I'm
listen,
asking
listen.
you
Word of
up there.
advice. Word of advice. Whenever a Western media,
I don't watch
Western
Western
media
media.
outlet talks
I
about
don't.
Saudi
But
Arabia,
that's
I
why
don't.
she's
do not believe
asking
it.
I
you
don't
so you
watch
can kind of
CNN.
explain.
Yeah, yeah, I know.
I
I'm
watch.
just like,
I go online and look up other shit from other countries. I don't watch Western news outlets because I don't
yeah,
trust
even
them.
Yeah, cause not just it ain't just America. It's
No, there
America. It's
UK.
Britain. It's
That's a
UK.
lot.
It's
Yeah.
every English speaking country. Even
Well, dude,
like every
hey,
European.
you got to understand who are the ones that came here? Europeans from the
Yeah,
UK.
like because
I
Europeans,
get it.
Europeans got agendas against us, man. And they've been
But
having agendas against us like ever since the colonization years,
but
because
I'm asking you,
this shit traces back centuries.
I get it, but I'm asking you, are they a form of a dictatorship or no? Is the Saudi Arabia government a form of dictatorship? I'm asking you because I don't know, and you live there. I would like to know. If you say no, then I'm gonna take your word for it.
I've not been subjected to any dictatorship in my life, so no.
Okay, okay, that's all I was asking. No, no offense,
So
or just
let
me
me ask you.
really trying to find out.
Let me ask you, Lord AAA. How what is the power structure in Saudi Arabia? You know, kind of
Yeah,
like how it runs.
It's
Because
a
I know
monarchy.
people
It's a
have
monarchy. It's a
it's a
monarchy. It's a monarchy.
monarchy, king, queen, like that, right? Like you have a prince or a king or whatever that rules, right?
Yeah,
Kind of
yeah, yeah.
like the UK. They got Queen Elizabeth. They go
Nah,
by.
but we ain't the same as we ain't the same
No,
because
it's
like
not because
the monarchy here
has,
has like
queen has
committees
to go by parliament and all of that. Over there, the royalty, the monarch is what decides everything, right?
yeah. I mean, it ain't like yo, the monarchy just does whatever he wants. No, he takes like opinions into consideration. It's not just as simple as yo, I want this done. It has to be done. I mean, technically, that can be that can be enforced, but that's not how it works because then the whole country is thrown into chaos, which is not the case.
Okay. How
so
are
the
they with
importance.
women in Saudi Arabia? Like women rights?
Women rights are fine.
Really?
Yeah, because
Unlike,
because because I shot a video for a friend, a Twitter friend, who did not believe it. Like, yo, women, like everybody talk about like, yo, women have to cover themselves up and all that shit. No, women choose to cover themselves up over here. It's not women have to cover themselves up because I shot a video for a friend and I can send you that video if you want in the DMs.
I love it.
There are plenty of women, right? Like I can shoot another video, not just that one video. There are plenty of women who choose not to cover themselves up, and nobody says shit to them. And
okay,
they drop and all and they have like rights to like
I get
custody
it.
of their children and all that shit. That's
All right,
but
I just
but
wondered.
but 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 the more important discussion here is, are human like when you talk about like protection of lives or human or
Well,
murder and all that shit, and like
that's what
murder is
brought.
murder. Let me tell you a statistic. Murder is not rampant here. Like you can't just go up and off somebody.
Okay, see, but that was what started this whole conversation. Is race war being able to be started by all the shit that is going on here? Murder does run rapid here, and government officials like the police are a high murderous part of it.
And you should see Napoleon. You know who
But
Napoleon
wait,
from the Outlaws? You know Napoleon from the Outlaws?
yeah, I know who he is. I know.
Yeah,
I listen to him. I listen to his interviews. I know who he is.
yeah. You should hear what he says about Saudi Arabia because he's been living here for the past 12 years. Not,
Yeah, I know. I know he's Muslim. I know. I know he's
no,
been there. He lives there. I know.
he
I
knows.
see him in his what do you call that? Um, the outfits that you guys wear over there with the
Yeah. So
yeah, I seen him in the video wearing that. He was in Saudi Arabia when he was filming the interview.
I
When
mean,
they were
I mean, they're not. He's not. He doesn't wear that shit all the time.
No, I
And
know.
he can
I
wear
seen them
whatever
in
he wants.
yes. But it's not just the police that are killing, because like we are killing our own people.
Yeah.
Mexicans, Latino against Latino, black against black, black against Latino, Latino against black.
You know how destroyed Saudi Arabia would be if that shit would have. Listen, do you know how destroyed Saudi Arabia would be if that shit would have been
Okay,
a
so you
little lax? Would have been even a little lax because we have like the tribes over here. The tribes over here are very very established. Let's just say that. So
Mm-hmm.
if somebody from my tribe kills somebody from another tribe, like that. That is a hair away from civil war. So the government shut that shit the fuck down.
I don't know how to say that last name. Jamal
Khashoggi.
Khashoggi. Who killed Kamal? Somebody in the chat wants
Jamal.
to know.
I don't
Jamal,
know. I know some Saudis got mixed up into it, but I don't know who gave
somebody
the order.
ordered his death, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
because
so
here's the thing: the CIA likes to throw blames, right? But we know the CIA gave a verdict that Iraq had weapons of mass destruction, which we all know is the absolute truth, right?
okay, let me ask
Give
you
me a
this.
fucking break. Give me a
Wait,
fucking
wait,
break, man. When has
wait.
the CIA ever been fair to? When
Triple
has the
A.
CIA? When has the
Hold
CIA
on.
ever been fair in foreign policy? When has
Okay,
the CIA
wait,
ever played
wait.
fair?
That's
Never.
just period government. They never have. But let me ask you this: you may say you don't have a lot of war, or death, like murdering, but there's got to be other crimes that are being committed there. I mean, are you saying that Saudi Arabia is perfectly bliss? That there is nothing?
I'm not saying there are not crimes being committed. Of course, there are crimes being committed. Of
Yeah.
course, there are murders, but it's not rampant. That's what I'm saying. It's not rampant. It is an
Yeah.
offshoot occurrence. Like for example, um, if somebody kills somebody over here, he runs the risk of facing the death penalty because that's how we deal with murderers. If you kill somebody, if you just go up and shoot somebody in the head, police will come, they will arrest you, you will go to trial, and then you'll lose your head,
Can I
unless
ask you?
unless the family of the murderer forgives you,
Okay. So
which
let
is
me ask.
usually what happens.
Yeah. Okay. It's because of
So
the
even then, so
men.
even then, so even then, the death penalty is not that enforced.
Okay. So let me ask you this: Were you okay? What is your birth nationality? Where were you born?
I was born in the U.S.
Okay. Are you of Caucasian descent
No,
or
no, I am a full Arab.
okay? So okay, that's all I wanted to know. I can't tell by your profile pic, like the
I mean,
profile.
I mean, I mean, I look the same as like if you would see me in real life, I look similar to a Latino.
Okay. I mean, I'm look at my skin tone.
Yeah,
I'm light skinned, but I'm full 100% Chicana, Mexican American.
yeah, yeah. But yeah, like that's a can of worms. Like I don't like. I really dislike politics everywhere. Like
So do
politics.
I. Yeah.
I,
He's,
I,
he's
I like I
actually he's actually kind of beautiful.
Yeah. I just
what?
want to know because your profile
I am not.
pic.
I am not good at taking compliments, SP. You know that about me. But I appreciate it. I appreciate it though.
But I don't know what time it is in Saudi Arabia, but
It
it's
is 8:37. It is 8:37 a.m.
okay. So it's 10:35 here. I'm an old lady who wakes up at 3, so I tend to go to bed early, even on my days off.
Okay.
Because I get used. See, my thing is having OCD. If I start like on days off, start staying up till like 12, 1, then my body automatically gets used to that. The next day, I'm going to bed that time or a little later. And then by the time it's time for me to go to bed early to go to work, I can't sleep. Because of my
I
OCD,
understand.
my
I
body,
understand.
you know what I'm saying? Does that make
Yeah,
sense? My
So
daughter's like, it's your day off. Why don't you stay up? Like, oh God, you gotta, because I have OCD, bitch.
this conversation really made me feel better because
Me
I
too.
was having a rough time today.
I cried in some of the messages I sent to Watson. I know he heard it, and I felt like, damn, Watson, I am so sorry you got to hear me
Yeah,
just go off and snap about this, but it really bothered me.
it was a rough day for me. I was so upset. I've been upset all day long, and
I
hope
love USD, and I
I love you
appreciate
too.
you.
Hopefully Thursday we can do Bahamadia like
Yes, yeah, we
we
will.
were going to,
7
but
p.m.
I just
Pacific
really
time.
couldn't. I couldn't focus on the music. I couldn't focus on anything, and I really just needed to have a conversation with my friends.
Yeah, I
So,
mean, if anything, we could push it to next Tuesday. I mean, whatever, it's not a big thing. We could shoot for Thursday.
yeah.
I don't know when the services are going to be. We already got that taken care of yesterday with the will
Hmm.
and all that because my cousin's trying to go against her wishes. So we took the will over yesterday and got that situated. So we should find out tomorrow, like when we could do it. We do
Hmm.
have, Mexicans do a rosary because they're Catholic.
Hmm.
I had to go.
Godspeed, Reina Madre. Godspeed. Godspeed. Godspeed to all
Thank you.
y'all.
I gotta go to it, even though I don't practice Catholicism. How do you say that?
Catholicism.
My Spanish gets a Catholicism.
You
Whatever.
can say it. You can say it in Spanish. It's okay.
Yeah, it's all right. Um. So yeah, I just I will sit there. I probably won't pray it, but I'll be there for support. I don't pray the rosary, so
I
Yeah.
mean, was that a loss in your family,
yeah.
Maria?
My tia passed.
Oh man. Oh man. Rest in
You know
peace.
what?
My deepest
I
condolences.
don't. My thing is I don't look at loss like a lot of people. I tend to celebrate the time I had with them and the memories I have. I while the rest of my family is sad and heartbroken, and I feel for them, I have learned to deal with death because I've experienced so much of it to where I'm at. Not saying they haven't, but I've chosen to focus on they're no longer suffering, they're not hurting, they've gone to wherever they're going, and I can focus on the memories I have and the good times and the love that we had.
Yeah, I'm very real about that.
Me too.
I don't go to wakes. I don't like to see people in caskets. If it's an open casket funeral, I'm not going.
I can do
Um,
that, but I
I,
don't get
I don't,
emotional or
that's
anything.
not the last memory I want to have of
Yeah.
that person.
See,
My last memory is the
it's a good
memories
time.
of the good times, and those are the memories I want to keep.
And that's what I do is I may not go. I'll go to the wake, but I may not go and go look in the casket. What I
Hmm.
do is I go and just talk to the people that are there. I tend
Outside.
to say, yeah, or even in there, I'm not looking. I'm like the casket's usually further up. Like I could be in the front because our where we go, there's an opening. You go in, there's this first room, and then you go in further, and there's another room where the casket
Hmm.
is. I don't go in that room,
Yeah.
but I communicate and I try to bring up good times, like, oh, remember when blah blah blah, because I don't want to see them sad, and they're really sad for themselves. It's
Hmm.
they're sad because they miss that person. When you could literally keep that person alive by thinking of all the good stuff in your
And it's
heart, alive in your heart. I mean,
Here,
and it's a
here's
whole lot more good stuff than
I,
to reduce them to that one
of
moment of
course, of
weakness.
yeah,
course, and I know how y'all. Everybody deals with this issue differently, right?
differently.
Hmm.
Because I lost three of my relatives to like very close relatives to during the pandemic,
Hmm.
and
Uh,
one of them
my
and one of them
condolences.
and one of them was when I was in the UK, so I wasn't even able to
Cheers.
go to the services and all that. So
Oh,
the way I deal with it is, if they're very close, no, I gotta be there. I gotta be there
yeah,
even when
yeah.
they're buried.
And my
Even
dear,
when they're buried, I need to say like goodbye to them personally. I mean, we never have open caskets. We don't have
Mhm.
like a casket. We don't bury people in caskets. We bury them in like white sheets
yeah,
of cloth.
they're wrapped. Yeah, I get it.
And like it's considered like um it's considered a service to them, to the to the
Right.
to
It's
the
like a
departed. It's
washing and a
yeah, yeah,
cleansing of the body before they. I
yeah,
get it.
Mhm.
and it's considered a service to them to actually be there at the grave site, and to participate in burying them, and like wash
Yeah,
over their
us too.
grave with water
No,
and all that. So
us
I
too.
make sure I make sure that I do that. I make sure that I do that so that
Even though we have a casket, it's customary that we all put in dirt in there to help bury. We
yeah.
uh, we say our goodbyes. I always go to the funerals. The thing is my cousin, her son. See, my aunt pretty much raised me from the beginning of my life till I was like 9, 10 years old, and because we all lived at my nana's. My mom was gone a lot, and
Yeah.
so my cousin, her son, was trying to get her cremated, even though her wishes was to be buried, because he didn't want to have to lose a lot of the insurance money to pay for the services. And we had to nip that in the bud. And now he's pissed, but I don't care.
I
My
mean,
aunt's getting what she wanted, and it's what she wanted.
that's it.
Like,
If she gets what she wants, period. I don't care what
Mhm.
he
like
wants.
people get, I think money can change. Like, well, it's not that it changes them because they're already like that. It just brings it out more. You
Mhm.
see their true side when they get around shit like that. It comes out like, okay, you've always been this shithead, but now you're letting it show over a little check, and it's your own mom, you fucker. Yeah, Pancho, talking about you, Pancho, fucking dick.
Yeah. So
I
Happens.
I mean, okay. Good example right there. Mexican on Mexican crime. Sorry, but that's family shit. It's different.
yeah, I understand. Like we've like over here we've had our fair share of family differences getting taken to the grave and all that.
Uh
And
huh.
that and I really feel sorry for whoever loses a family member and they're pissed at them. You know what I mean? I
Yeah. See,
really
I
because
I
because
think
because
my
because they gotta live the rest of their lives knowing that
yeah.
I didn't have shit good with my father. You know what I mean?
Yeah. See, I already gave my terms and wrote everything down, got a will and all that on what I want. And I told my kids, I want to be cremated. I don't want to be buried. I don't want to be put there in a cemetery where no one's going to come visit because people's lives get busy. Who's kicking back at the fucking cemetery when you're busy working trying to survive? I said, cremate me.
Of
You got,
course.
because my husband's cremated. I said, put us together. And most of the money will go to you guys. All you got to do is pay for I got a few policies, so they'll get a good amount. I said, that's all I want. You guys can fight over who wants me. And everyone's like, well, my daughter's like, I'm gonna keep you, and my sons are like, yeah, Sidena wants you, because she's the baby. She can have you. We'll just take a little bit. And I'm like, that's fine. But yeah, I don't want no bullshit. You got to be prepared. People
Yeah.
have to think about it because we may think, oh, I'm only 50. The age limit now, like people are living to be older and older because health, people are looking for their health and taking care of themselves. A bus could run my ass over tomorrow. I got to be prepared.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, my
And
daughter
and and
knows I'm to be cremated, and she knows that she is not to buy an urn.
Yeah,
That
I
they
said,
are to put me in a. She is to put me in a shoebox, and she is supposed to take me to Canyon Lake, and I am to be thrown in the lake, and then she is to move on.
Yeah, see, and I wanted
Yeah.
to be put out somewhere, but my daughter didn't want that. My daughter's like, I want you with me. And I said, okay, fine, then put me in with James's box because my husband is in his own box. I said, you
Mm.
could mix me with my husband and James, your dad, whatever. That's shit, that's her dad. He raised her. So I said, and there you go. Both of us in the same spot. You could throw some of us out, like some of us like at the lake where we want to go, or the mountain, like Mount Lemon. I love Mount Lemon. I said,
I
Yeah, for me, we have to. I'm, as y'all
you
know, I'm a
can't do
devout.
cremating.
No. Yeah, as y'all know, I'm a devout Muslim, so I want to be buried the way my
Yeah,
grandfather's
you
buried.
want the
Mhm.
custom.
Yeah, I want the custom. I want the custom, the whole nine.
Yeah, see,
That,
and most of my family is like that. They want to be like the way all of my ancestors have been. We all have a family plot. Everyone's in the same area. Um, but nobody goes to the cemetery
for
to
me,
go
for me,
visit.
it's for me, it's whatever gives me a better shot at surviving the next stage, and passing through it and going where I want to go. You know
And
what I mean?
see, and I believe,
Because I believe in that. Because I believe in that. Personally,
and
I believe in that.
I believe our spirit is what moves on. The body is just a corpse. It's just that our spirit moves on. So I don't need my body for my spirit to go. My spirit's already gone once I die. Once I take my last breath, it's gone. All you guys are dealing with is the empty shell.
Of course, and that's like
And the next
where
life,
everybody's personal opinions and
yeah, if
beliefs,
God wants to
and
use
that's
me
okay,
in
and
the
that's
next
okay.
life
Like
to put me somewhere, I'm sure He will.
And
for
see, my spirit is 125 pounds and has the knees of Meg the Stallion.
I don't want an ass like Cardi B. God damn, that's so big. Um,
my my belief my belief
Asking
my belief
her.
is that I'm actually gonna like all of we believe as Muslims that we're gonna be reincarnated in our
Oh
physical
yeah,
forms.
yeah. It's the same
Mhm.
thing like the Hindus. They believe in reincarnation. But
No, but it's gonna be not. It won't be now, and it won't be under in modern society. No, it's gonna be
oh
in
no, I get
a
it. I
different
get
stage of
the
life.
differences.
It's gonna
What
be
what
it's in a different stage of life, and we believe in a day of judgment. We believe in
but why do you need your body for that? Your spirit is what gets reincarnated,
no no.
not the body.
I mean, our belief is that we get reincarnated in our physical bodies, and
Oh,
we
in your
go.
body. You come
Yeah.
back from the dead like fucking
Yes.
Lazarus.
Yes.
Like
We believe in that.
Lazarus did when Jesus brought Lazarus back from the dead, according to the King James and the Tanakh, or the yeah, is it no the Torah? Is it the Torah or the Tanakh? One of them, or the Christian Bible. He brought Lazarus back from the dead. So you guys believe
Yeah.
that you can be reincarnated
We
in your
we believe
body.
that we believe that every human being who ever lived will be reincarnated.
I think at some point heaven will
No
be
matter
on earth.
how no matter how no matter how destroyed their physical forms are, that like God
Oh
will
God, jeez,
Well,
I
I
hope
better,
I
I
die with
better
every
get,
single part of my body. Then
I better work on my knee game.
no, even
my
if you
knees are
lost
fucked
even
up,
if you
girl.
lost
Been on them too long.
like even if dude, even
We're
if you
being
lost your
raunchy.
physical
Triple
form,
A, my bad.
yeah, I know.
It's not. It's not. You know you don't like that kind of talk. Stop it. That's why we do it though around you because we know it's not that we're trying to offend you. We just like you. We like to joke with you.
No, I know y'all not trying to offend anybody. So it's okay.
Yeah.
It's just jokes. It's just
You
jokes.
know, we're American.
I
You know
mean, I'm
how us
American too,
Americans
technically.
are.
Technically, I'm an
Technically,
American too
how long you been in Saudi Arabia?
since 1996.
Okay, you're Saudi Arabian. You're technically you're Saudi,
I was born and raised in
but
the
you were
States, like,
born here. But do you have
and raised
citizenship
there.
in Saudi
Yes,
Arabia?
I have
Okay,
I
so
have
then
dual
You have
citizenship.
dual citizenship.
dual.
Yep, dual.
Okay,
I do not have a social security number though.
okay, yeah.
All right, you guys.
Yeah,
I'm gonna take all this sexy and get in the bed.
me too. I need my beauty rest because this sexy is looking tired. I don't know if it's so sexy anymore. But hey, you
Thanks,
know,
thanks everybody for watching. Thank you so much, Triple
thank
A,
you.
for coming on.
And do
I
me a favor,
mean, I
guys.
mean, I mean, I mean, anything for the family, right?
Hey, next
That's
time,
right.
you know what? Maybe we should do discussions more often. We could have hip hop discussions. We could have, and I like having people come up and
Yeah.
talk with us. But I really let's try to keep brown and black together, and let's start having these discussions. If you guys want to discuss if any of the issues we
Salam
talked
alaikum.
about and you don't want to
Wallahi.
talk about it
Kayf
on here, you want to DM me or SP, feel free. No bullshit, no stupid shit, no insults. If you have serious convo that you want to get by, hit us up in the DMs. We'll respond.
I'd like. Can I
Leave
can
a
I can I
comment
can I propose a topic right now?
Yes.
for next time. Sure.
Yeah, Islamophobia in hip hop media.
That works.
Okay.
That'd be
Why
a good
not?
conversation.
Is there Islamic phobia in hip hop?
Yeah, there's the
Yeah, hip
like
hop media.
Pitchfork,
Yes.
Pitchfork published a review of Supreme Clientele written by somebody called Jeff Weiss. He's known on Twitter as Passion of Vice, and he wrote the most Islamophobic paragraph that I have ever read in my life when it comes to hip hop. Like, bro, you did not have to be that specific in your insult. Like,
Yeah,
yo,
I mean that's what
it
we're
was just
going through today. So
yeah.
Yeah. So that would be a great topic. I'd be happy to
yeah.
have it. Thing.
All
And
right.
yeah, and we tend to like once we go, we tend to have more than one topic. But yes, I think we
Yeah,
can
yeah.
bring that up, and you should join us so you can
Okay,
your feelings.
hopefully the time difference doesn't screw things up, because
Okay,
Yeah,
and
because
we're normally
so
on about this about
this
between
time
9 and 10
we
mm,
start.
our time. So 8 hours.
it's 8:54 right now. It's almost 9 o'clock a.m.
Yeah,
Okay,
it'll
so
be
we
about seven
started at
o'clock your
8
time.
today, right? We
Mm.
started at
Yeah.
8 today. Maybe we should just start at 8 from now on when we're
I,
having
I
discussion.
think. Yeah.
Mm.
When we're doing an album review, we can start at 7 because we're not discussing anything. But
Yeah. It's 7
discussion
for you, but it's 9 for me, and for him, it's 7 is like what about 5 in the morning.
6, 5. Okay, now so by the time you get here, we
Uh,
can discuss other shit. And by the time you get here, we can bring up the topic. How's that? Because I wouldn't know
no
what to
problem.
discuss
When
without
when is it
you.
when are y'all gonna have when do y'all need me? When do y'all need me? What day?
We'll hit you up. We'll hit you up and let you know. We'll give you
All
advance
right,
notice,
all
at
right, all right.
least,
Keep me in the
you
loop.
know.
Keep me in the loop. Keep me in the loop.
All right.
All right.
All
Sounds
right.
good.
Peace, mercy, and blessings,
All
y'all.
right.
You too.
Peace.
Peace, love,
It's
respect.
powerful impact. We out.
Yep. Peace, love, respect, all that good shit, guys. Thank you for joining us.